everybody had different things, but I think they all overlap. And I want to do a meditation and a drawing. Um, and and I want to I guess what I'm feeling is um like a real need to value ourselves, and to love ourselves, and to because I think that all everybody talked about things from the outside, and I think that when those things are strong and present, it's because of things that we're not connected with. It's not that they're missing. They're not missing from you. They're disconnected to whatever extent and for whatever reason. We're disconnected from um, that in ourselves. Whatever we're longing for from outside, we're disconnected we're disconnected from inside. So I just want to kind of put that out there. When you think about what you shared today, when you think about what you're longing for, because I heard a lot of longing for from outside. So when you think about what you're longing for from outside, as we start the meditation, I want you to really kind of, I'm going to just be silent for a minute, and I really want you to kind of focus on when you shared today, what was the longing from outside? Was it love? Was it attention? Was it affection? Was it significance? Was it um, you know depth, acknowledgement? Like what is it that you were longing for this week that came up? Because it came up for everybody this week. As we start, and just kind of breathe into that, and we're just going to be silent for a couple minutes while you, and if you can get your drawing stuff ready, and then just close your eyes and really kind of breathe into what you were longing for. And if everybody can mute themselves, um, it works better for the meditation. Um, and just kind of breathe into what you are longing for from the outside this week and in your sharing. So hopefully you have connected with what it is that you were longing for from the outside this week, from a person, from a situation, from more than one person. that feeling that you really needed from that person, from those people. It's in you. And it's different. We want that from the outside. And it's a loss when we don't get it. So just acknowledge that first, that it's a loss. That we wish we could get that from them. And that it sucks that we're in all these intense relationships with people who can't give us what we need. And now go deeper inside yourself. That love, that connection, that acknowledgement, that support, that peace, that joy. It's inside of you. See if you can find it. And if you can find it, I want you to imagine it getting bigger. I want you to imagine it growing. And right now, you really need to fill yourself with that. And I want you to hug yourself. Hug yourself. And just allow that, in whatever form it's taking for you, just to know that when you don't get something from the outside, you always have it. It's always inside of you. And you can expand it. So breathe into it. And feel that love or acknowledgement or connection or support. Now I'm going to ask you to do something, and you don't have to do it if you don't want to. But you know that you have it. And these people in our lives, they probably don't. So I want you to share it, if you're willing, with them. And I want you to think about them and imagine them in front of you. And I want you to imagine that feeling being so big that you can keep as much of it as you need, and you can share it and send it to them now. Send it to them as energy. Send them your love or your acknowledgement or your support or your connection. And I want you to really see it going through space and time. And I want you to see them receiving it. And you didn't lose any of your support, your love, your affection, your connection, your acknowledgement. And see that energy as a bridge between you and them, whether you can talk to them or not, whether they talk to you or not. It's there as a healthy connection that can be without anyone getting hurt, without it costing you anything. How does it make you feel to have enough for you and for them? You guys are so strong. And you're so loving. And you're so generous. And you have to be first. You have to be first with all of your affection, acknowledgement, love, and support. And when you give it to yourself, then you can share. And maybe that's only in sending energy, sending those qualities. But it matters. And they will receive it. Everything is energy. So when you feel full, like you've given it to yourself, and if you chose to share, if you can see that sharing of your positive energy, and you can feel it, then I want you to open your eyes and I want you to draw it. If you're finished, you can write done in the chat. And I would say if you're still going, we can start sharing with people who are done, and then you can keep working on yours.
Mine's very simple.
Okay. Would you like to share?
Yeah, I have a problem with these drawings just because I'm very literal, and I don't have a lot of creativity or whatever, but so it's almost like what you would expect. I mean, this is what it is. This is what I think of. All right, so all right, so there's a heart, which obviously means love, and sending it to my daughter and sending it to my sister, which my sister would be very insulted with my picture of her, but oh well. And inside the heart, I also have compassion, understanding, and respect. So.
And did you feel like you found it for yourself, in yourself first?
I guess it's something that I want, and that I give to them. Whether I have it for myself, I don't know about that. I have issues with that.
Okay, so I want you this week to go back and do this. Skip to the video where this exercise is. Don't do that part. Only for you. Because it was once you had it for you to share it. So I don't want you to share. I want you to do it again and only do it. And stay there. Like once we're in that part of it, pause it. Stay there until you can find it in yourself and experience it growing inside yourself for you, not for anyone else.
Yeah, and what happens if I don't get there?
That's okay. That's okay. But I want you to try again, just only focusing on yourself. And this is like we talked about, this is most of your life, if not all of your life, right? Where all of everything, all the good stuff you have has been going out and not, it's there. I am 100%, it's there. It's all over the place, but it's all going out, right?
Oh yeah.
Yeah. So it's absolutely there. It's 100% there. So try it, and then let me know how it goes.
Okay.
Yeah. And don't do the part of giving it. When that part comes, just be like, it's all for me. Do the opposite. Take it back. When that part comes, be like, I'm gonna take that, and I'm gonna take that, and I'm gonna take that, and I'm gonna take that. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Thank you. And it's there's no. I know I hear that fear that it's not there. 100%, no question, it's there. It's just connecting it to you and your love for yourself and your value, completely apart from anything outside of you. But it's there. I don't have any doubt at all.
Just as an aside, one thing my sister always said was that I was like the mother she never had, which I don't know why she feels that way, because my mother called while I was here, right? So I always did for my sister. I always did for my mother. Then I got married and have kids and do for my kids. So.
Yeah, but part of you, a strong part of you, does not want to die without dealing with this, and that's why you're here. That's why you're doing this. So lean on that and lean into that. Lean into the fact that you could go on doing things exactly doing them your whole life and die that way and not even think about it. But that's your soul does not want to do that. Your soul wants to resolve this in this lifetime. Otherwise, you would not be having this conversation with me right now. So lean into that and connect with that part of yourself that doesn't want to die not having worked through these things. Because it's there. You wouldn't be here. And you wouldn't be doing this because we're getting deeper and deeper into stuff, not less deep into it. So if you wanted to run away, you would, and you're not, so that
Not yet.
not yet, right? So that there's part of you that really wants to go there and work through this stuff. And for sure, 100%, that's also the part of you that loves you. 100% loves you so much and cherishes you. Guaranteed. Okay. Who wants to share next? Nancy?
Laura, I'll have to write to you in private later because there's something I hear you that I need to tell you, and I'm not sure it's the right place in front of everybody, but I think you need to hear that. On my part, what I had to connect with was I miss my granddaughter's affection. So I started to try to draw the me holding my granddaughter, but it was too complicated. So I did a kind of little figure in a big drop, like a big, like if it was a shower, but a bubble that I'll just show you. I don't know.
Yeah.
So I wrote Keisha and Grandma Forever. Actually, I should have wrote Granana because that's how she calls me, Granana. Well, I sent her all the love I could and all the affection I could. And I did the same for little me here that I keep in front of me all the time now. It makes me emotional, but instead of sadness, there's something that is kind of filling me up, that I just need to love her and send her my love and feel the love, and I've got plenty of that. But it makes me pretty emotional. But I was happy to, like, I know that she can feel it because she is so much like me, that girl. So she's probably thinking of me right now when it's pretty late. I hope I didn't wake her up. But yeah, I'll wait for her. I'm sure I'm going to see her eventually, and life's going to take care of her meanwhile. But it felt good just permitting myself to really let me just love her the way she needs to be loved, and the way I love her. So that's.
I wonder too, while you were talking, I wondered about, thinking about seeing her in your dreams. Cause I don't know, I hear things and I don't know if they're true or not, but I know people who believe that when you're with people in your dreams, you're with them. It's just a different, I don't know, like a different way, but not any less real than the way that we are now. So maybe if you think about her before you go to sleep and invite her to play with you in your dreams, maybe there'll be an opportunity there, for an actual connection that's different than this one, but meaningful.
Thank you. I would have never thought of doing that. So I will for sure. I will for sure. Yeah, that's a good idea. Thank you.
You're welcome. Anybody else ready to share? You, Jody? Yeah, Jody.
Okay. So when we were doing our meditation, what really came to me, and I know I've been doing this work with my counselor too, so they dovetail really beautifully, but how, and I don't remember if I said this last time, but how I've spent my life sort of twisting myself into a pretzel in order to belong or be loved. And so, yeah, that came up really, and my sister's accusing me of betraying her, which is such an unfortunate, she's choosing to interpret me telling the truth of a dirty little affair. And I told the person the truth because it was harming them greatly. And it's just not who I am to watch somebody suffer at the hands of a cheater. So, and my sister was choosing to tell the secret, and she tried to impose her choice to do that onto me. And I tried to honor that for 2 months, and then I couldn't continue to do it. It was eating me up alive. So I chose to tell the truth, and now she's labeling me as a betrayer. So, I think when I grew up and I would be bad in some way, and the punishment that I got, and how I spent my life, that's where my perfectionism came from, is trying to be perfect, because when I was bad, it was not good. So that's what this comes up for me is I'm being labeled as the terrible person, the bad person. And so anyways, just loving myself, accepting myself, forgiving myself, because I know that that's what I need from my sister. I've already apologized for how it came about, not that I told the truth, because I do stand by that, but how I did it, I could have done it differently, and I've apologized 3 times for it. And she just, yeah, anyways. So here's my picture. Was very vividly, my sister and I are on other sides of a bridge, and there's water underneath us. And of course, you see me with my gray hair, and my sister has, she colors her hair red. So I am just sending her this swirl of yellow and pink, full of love and hearts and compassion and all of that stuff. And I envisioned my arms spread out towards her, and her arms spread out to receive all the love and compassion and acceptance and understanding that I was trying to send her.
And did you take it from yourself, or was it an overflow? Like, did you have enough still for
Oh
you?
yeah. I just felt like it. I didn't even actually see it as that. I just saw it as it was just coming out of me, and I wanted to share it with her. I didn't see it. It was taking away from me. It just sort of naturally really flowed.
So that could be something that you want to do more this, in the next couple weeks to see, how that may shift things energetically. I also do hear you justifying and explaining yourself. And I don't think you need to do that. I don't think that there's any value or ability to move forward if there's a continuation of the discussion around this. I think you just have to accept, that it happened, and that maybe you would change things, and maybe you wouldn't, maybe you would do exactly the same thing, but that at the end of the day, you don't need to apologize again. You don't need to, like getting in the weeds of the specifics of it, I don't think benefit you or her. And you don't need to justify yourself, like whether even if you were 100% wrong, and you clearly already did express that, but that, like when people see things the way they see it, that's the way they see it. And there's no convincing them, like you can change your mind, you can grow, you can learn to see things differently. but we can't, we can't affect what they do. And so, you don't need to justify, and it's not going to do any good to justify to her. Either she wants to move forward from here, and what this did do was bring up a situation where, you were no longer willing to do things the way they'd always been done, and obviously it means something significant to her because she's not talking to you, and that's also not happened before. But that, there's a reason why this happened, and there's a reason why your relationship is where it is right now. And, it doesn't have to be resolved overnight, but it also couldn't keep going the way that it was, or this wouldn't have happened, like this was a universe put a line in the sand in your relationship, for both of you. Like, this circumstance came about for other people for other reasons, but for you guys, because it's not tolerable anymore. And this brought that to a head for you, and that's where you are. And you just have to kind of move forward from that place, understanding where those boundaries are for you, and how you can move forward and negotiate. And hopefully the 9-day thing will help you to figure that out.
Thank you.
Sure. Missy, are you ready to share?
I'm having a lighting thing, so I hope my lighting's okay.
Very dramatic.
So, huh?
Very dramatic, your lighting.
I tried something new today, and we won't do this again. So, what came up for me, and in a lot of the conversations, reminded me of some relationships that I have with my family. So, and when you were asking specifically, what do I look for from the outside? I think the thing for me is acceptance. My entire life, I've not entire, up until the last little over 10 years, I would say, I was trying to be what everybody else wanted me to be. Raised in a Mormon household, and I only say that to kind of illustrate, like, there's some strictness there in the way that people live and how they're accepted, and I'm not the typical female in that role. And specifically, what was coming up for me is a relationship that I have with one of my brothers. He is, on the outside, he appears to be very, very judgmental. So he said some pretty awful things about me as I was growing up. And things like I would never be an acceptable wife. And I was lucky that I was pretty, because otherwise I would be very lonely. Things like that throughout my life. And what I realized at some point, I don't know what had me realize this, but anything that he would say that was negative to me, he was actually, in a way, kind of telling me he loved me and that he was worried about me. So he loves me, and he's worried that that I'll be lonely. He loves me, and he worried that I wouldn't find a companion that would want to spend the rest of their lives with me. And I laugh about that because I actually told him that once, and he kind of confirmed. It took him by surprise when I said that to him, like, I know you love me, and these are why you're worried about me, and this is how it comes out. And we had a nice little moment there. I could tell that he felt that I understood him, and all of that. And then he went, about his way of being. And I don't know about when my husband and I started dating, is when I started to, right before then is when I really started to be who I am. I really started doing things that upset my family. I started getting tattoos. I started riding motorcycles. I started doing all of these things that I've wanted to do all my life. And as a result of that, my brother could no longer be a part of my life for him, because he was way too worried about this crazy lifestyle that I was living. And he just couldn't be a part of it anymore. And he essentially told me that he was done. And at first I was really upset about that. And then I realized that I'm his sister, and I can love him even if he doesn't love me back the way that I would want him to. And so I do that. So I send him messages every once in a while. Maybe, I don't know, once every 3 months or so, just, thinking about you. Want you to know that I love you. Just the way you are, just exactly how you are. And every once in a great while we get, there's a family function and we get around each other and there's no tension there. Just because I love him. So, and I get him. I get that he can't be with how he thinks my life is, and he's not listening to that it's not what he thinks. So I say all that to just illustrate that what I've always strived for and longed for is acceptance from the people, from acceptance. And I tend to choose people to be in my life that it would be a challenge to accept me. And I think that that's a part of self-destructive mechanism that I have, is I tend to want to try to be around people that probably wouldn't accept who I am. So that's kind of an interesting thing to look at. But through the meditation, I was working on accepting myself, right, just as I am. And it kind of flowed. It came and it went, and it came and it went, and it came and it went. And in those moments that it was there and present, I was able to send it out. And specifically to my brother, I do. And what I've noticed is, and what I've been told is that people find it easy to be around me. And I think it's because I am sensitive to people feeling accepted. So anyways, here's my picture. I'll get the light on it, I think. Can you see it?
Just hold it up a little higher. Yeah, there we go.
It's a blue heart with a purple. The purple represents acceptance. And I'm not sure why I chose blue for the heart. It's just what called to me. And it kind of, the ribbon is just kind of the flowingness of it, right? It's there for a second and then it's gone. And then it's there for a longer period of time. And then it kind of escapes me every once in a while. So
When it was there, was it in that sense of like having it fully before you give it away? Did you have it fully and you could give it away and then it all went away, or it wasn't, you didn't feel it fully and you were already giving it away?
Now that you say that, that's kind of what it felt like. Like I had it and then I gave it away and then it was gone. And I had to like replenish.
Okay, yeah. So
I don't know what that's about, but
you should do it again too, and don't give it away.
Okay.
Just when
Okay.
after the part where it says get it, just pause it and stay there. Just stay there and keep it all for yourself.
Okay. I'll be selfish with my acceptance.
Yeah.
Wow.
Okay. Thank you guys so much. Is there anything else anybody wants to share before we close? We're good. Thank you. I know we're a little long again tonight, but I just want to tell you guys how much I appreciate the depth of your sharing and how much I think you are supporting each other with everything that you're sharing, and the connectedness of the struggles that we all have, and how much learning and sort of other layers are coming up from being in this group setting. And I really appreciate everyone's willingness to really be present and to hear other people's stories and to find that in yourself, because I think that's always true, and we're always reflecting and mirroring, and I think that that's really present in this group, and that the support and the love. So it also encourage you throughout the week to just think of everybody in the group, and even the people that aren't here tonight, and just send some love and connection to each other, because I think that you're learning and growing and supporting each other in a really unique way, and it's really beautiful. So thank you, and I'll see
Thank
you
you.
next week.
Thanks, Kelly.
You're welcome.
Bye, everybody.
Thank you.
Thank you, everybody.
Thank you.
Good night.
Thanks so much. Bye,
Take
everybody.
care.